So we were trying to get this record to Clue. Now at the time, Clue was on Hot 97, and Clue had his Monday Night Mixtape. Anybody who knew Clue, or anybody who knew or was from New York or out of town that knew about New York, knew that if you was on Hot 97 at that time and you was on Clue's show, you was popping. Like it was the wave. Like you wanted to be on his Monday Night Mix show because you knew that was basically like Clue's mixtape live on the radio. So this is what we wanted to do. This was the mission. Get on Clue's show. So long story short, the first week we went down there, we tried to see Clue, couldn't see Clue. But what we did notice was there was this. Okay, so you got Clarkson. If you're from New York, you understand. You got Clarkson, you got Broadway, and then you got West Houston. And each block literally was lined with cars that would have DC plates, Maryland plates, North Carolina plates, Virginia plates. I'm talking about if you named the state, they was outside waiting for Clue to walk into that building to make sure that they gave him a CD that they could play on the show. Shout to Don DeMarco and the whole squad. So what happened was, so we went down there thinking that we was going to be able to get the Clue and get this song on the radio, and we didn't get that song on the radio. So we waited another week trying to hand Clue the CD just like everybody else out there. I remember seeing Mano out there. I remember seeing Uncle Murder out there at times. I saw Pat Poose out there waiting. Everybody wanted to give Clue CD. So anyway, so now we out there again. We're trying to get Clue the CD. This might have been like the third week we was waiting for Clue. Finally, Clue had connected with one of the guys that was one of the producers that we knew, had connected with Skane Dollar, which was obviously a part of Desert Storm with Clue. And Skane had said that he was gonna let it rock. So we went home, ran back up, because we coming from Rockland, ran back upstate trying to listen to Clue show in the car. Got back in the studio, listening to Clue in the station, as in the studio on this little boom box that we had in the studio, and we waiting for Clue to play record. Clue ain't played the record again another week. So we still rushing, trying to get Clue to play this record. Now this fourth or fifth week that came up, all of a sudden now we listening, we like, they said Clue's gonna play the record. We gotta tune in. Clue's gonna play the record. So finally we get to the show. On the radio, whatever, we listening to the show rather, and it's almost like literally like 4 or 5 minutes left in the show, and we're like, yo, he ain't playing it again this week, man, damn. All of a sudden you heard the joint, and we in this, like, again, we in the studio in this small boom box. You had to hold the little wire antenna to get the signal to come through the right way, because it wasn't really supposed, we wasn't really listening to the radio in the studio. So we in the studio and we listened to it and we heard the joint, when we heard that song come on, I swear on everything, it was probably one of the happiest moments collectively that you could see amongst some fellas that you just like, yo, hard work finally paid off. And that moment right there solidified all the battles, all the fights that we went through, that it solidified all the late nights in the studio, sleeping on the floor, all the arguments, everything at that one moment came to fruition as if you like, yo, we made it. And it really was on the radio for no more than 2 minutes. Because I remember Joe Buttons was on the verse, on the first verse, and then one guy got to sing his part, but it felt like we had been sitting on top of the world. And I say all that to say, like, once I had that feeling, we all went back into the studio. We worked real hard because we was like, yo, we want to be on the radio. We want to rock out. We want to be on the radio all the time. And I'll never forget that feeling. I've always carried that feeling, even when I had New and Y. Because even when I started doing New and Y over at the other station, that's the emotion that I had in my heart for every artist that I would always work with. I always felt like it was important for me to remember that that's where I was, and I would never want to neglect the artist because I knew what they were working for, and I would never want to take for granted when the artists wanted to get their music played on the radio, that's what they were going through, trying to struggle to go through those DJs to get on the radio, and that nostalgia that you would get to motivate you to do even better was coming with that feeling and that vibe of you hearing your music on the radio for your friends, your mother, your father, anybody who doubted you that you was trying to get off the streets because you was doing music, or that your talent wasn't that solidified it for you. So I say all that to say, stay focused, man. You got to keep doing what you're doing, whether you got believers, you got supporters, whoever you got in your life. Believe in yourself enough to take that chance and pushing through some of the obstacles, some of the hurdles, some of the stops that you're gonna go through, because at some point it's gonna pay off if you stick to it. You know, you never know where you're gonna wind up, and you never know where your feet gonna land. So you could be here one day and then you could be there the next. You know what I'm saying? But keep going. I encourage all y'all out there to keep rocking. I just wanted to share that story with you because, you know, this is the town. I told you we're going to tell real stories and real people. That was one of the stories I wanted to talk about with you and talk to you about. And now if you got something that you want to talk about, just hit those comments down below. But definitely understand, keep going, man. It is definitely necessary for you to keep pushing through the BS. All right? Welcome to the town, baby.